your current NXT North American Women's Champion and the Speed Women's Champion,
Yep.
Sol Ruka.
Hey, guys.
It is great to have you here. I'm so glad that I found out the correct pronunciation of your name, because some people will like, it's Saul. And I'm like Saul, like Better Call Saul? No, it's Sol.
I can't stand when people call me Sol. I'm like, that is not, no. S-O-L, like the sun, Soul.
Soul. That's
Soul.
it.
Yes. Thank you for having me, by the way.
No. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Full disclosure, I didn't know who you were a couple of months, not even a couple of months ago, because you were relatively new on the scene. And I'm watching one of your matches one night, and out of nowhere, this flippy, thingy, cool diamond cutter move, and I was like, holy shit. What is that move called, and who the hell is that girl who just did it? And I had to find out about you. And I'm I made these calls. I looked up. Oh my God, this is Sol Ruka. Blah 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 blah. I did all my homework, because you truly have impressed me since you got. Even if it was just the finish, and it's not just about your finish. There's so much I want to get into with you, but I think that's where I want to start. I want to start with the finish. Because I'm sure I'm not the first one to put you over for this move. I mean, it's called the Soul Snatcher.
Yes.
You might say Snatcher. I say
I like that. Soul Snatcher.
Yeah. Soul Snatcher.
Yeah.
That's the New Yorker.
It flows a bit better. Yeah.
Soul Snatcher. From now on, we're changing the name of the finish.
Soul Snatcher.
Give me let me hear it.
Soul Snatcher.
There you go. Boom.
Period.
Done. Soul Snatcher. How did you come up with this move? Were you inspired by a different move? Was it because of your athletic background?
It's a little bit of both. It is something that, like, when I got here, hearing people talk about finishes, like, that's like one of the most important things in a match, or like most important thing that you can have that's like unique to you. And so I was like, okay, bet, like, I want to do something that I've never seen before, or like super unique to me. And my background being gymnastics, I was thinking of moves that would kind of like emulate what I used to do and could tie into my character and my background, all that type of stuff. And there's a move that I used to do called a straddle back, which is a move on the high bar where, it's going to sound a bit crazy, but bear with me. You jump to the high bar, you swing forwards, you swing backwards, and you let go of the high bar, and you do basically like a front flip kind of, and you catch the low bar in a handstand. So that was my like favorite move on bars, and I was like, okay, I think I could do something with that. And I had seen a similar sort of like front flippy thing into a cutter before, or into a stunner before, and I was like trying it that way, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, that hurts my butt. It hurts my butt, my lower back. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna, pull this off all the time. And I was kind of like workshopping it and stuff, and I just figured that a cutter was just like the best way to go for like prolonging my career and stuff. And it was so much easier to just make contact and just make it, work and look good, and make it so that everyone can take it. And that was another big thing that I wanted to make sure, is that it's something that I don't have to like lift someone up because like size difference and stuff, or like you're tired at the end of the match. I want it to be something that can be out of nowhere and something that can evolve, because at first I was just doing it in the corner, and then I started running into it, and then I started doing it off the springboard, and then I started doing it off the ladder, and like all this stuff. I wanted to be able to evolve it so that it can come out of nowhere, because when I first did it, there was a bunch of comments being like, oh, it's so situational, it's so this, and I'm like, just wait, I got ideas. So that's kind of how it came to be. And yeah, I freaking love it. People love it. So. And
I think the most important thing that you said about your finish is that you can hit it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I saw you, obviously, you defeated Carmen Petrovic tonight in relatively quick 3 or 4 minutes with the Soul Snatcher right out of the corner. You seem to hit it perfectly every single time. I know earlier we were talking about like your gymnastics background. Do you find anything in the ring to be difficult for you to do? Because you seem to do everything with like complete ease.
Yeah, honestly, no, not really. However, so today actually I was we were going over the match and stuff, and we were going over the dive spot and trying to figure out what dive I was going to do, and they're like, oh, like, can you just do like a suicide dive? And I was like, no.
I'm glad you said no.
I was like, I don't do that, because to me that is way harder. Like having to like go through the ropes, like I just get scared of like clipping my feet or something like that. Like I like to be in control of my own body. That's why I love doing like moonsaults and stuff, because I know I can land on my feet. I know I can do this like by myself. Whereas like those type of dives, like there's just so much room for error, like clipping your feet, or like when I had a knee brace, like hitting your knee brace on the rope, stuff like that. And I've done like the one where you like jump over the rope, kind of just like crossbody, whatever, which is like fine, but I don't know. I just love moonsaults. It's kind of my background, and I feel like I can control them so much better. I also just think it's prettier, in my opinion. So
I'm glad you said no. I can appreciate the reasons why you said no. Yeah. But like suicide dives have become one of these things that we've gotten so far away from what the original suicide dive was.
Sure.
It was a desperation maneuver that we saw from like wrestlers like the Dynamite Kid and Tiger Mask. I don't even know if you know these names. Yeah. You do. That's great that you know your history.
Yeah, but I'm trying to learn.
No, that's great. And you're right. So many things can go wrong.
Yep.
And feet, your toes clipping that second rope, and you just come splat on your face.
Yep.
So I'm glad you're not doing it.
Yeah, I'm also like tall, so I'm like, if I can just jump over the rope, might as well. So,
and like you said, if it looks prettier, you know, it is pro wrestling. We want the move to look good, also.
Yeah.
And you pull off pretty good.
Thank you.
Pretty good. So let's talk about the championship that you just won, the North American Women's Championship in Vegas. At Stand and Deliver in a ladder match against 5 other women, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Was this your first ladder match?
No, this was my second ladder match for the same title with some of the same girls.
Okay. So this being your second ladder match, different frame of mind. Did you find it easier, more difficult? And what was it like to win your first major championship here in NXT?
Yeah, lots of stuff. So the ladder match the second time around, I definitely think it was a bit easier, but like I just kind of knew what to expect more. However, the first one in Vegas was at the UFC arena, so it was very small. So we couldn't do a lot of stuff. This time around, I was like, okay, like this is what I want to do. Like I kind of understood the psychology of it and just like the flow of it and stuff. And winning it, honestly, the scariest part of a ladder match was grabbing the title. I was completely fine, like, doing my stuff. And then, like, when it got time to, like, grab it, I was like, I have to let go of both hands to grab this title. And I was terrified. I was like, oh, no, I hope it don't fall. I hope it don't fall. But I grabbed it, and, like, I feel like in the moment, like, you try and soak it in, but you're still so in the mindset of just, like, I have to be on right now. And once I got to the back, like, emotional, all that stuff, and then, like, watching the video back and, like, seeing the crowd stand up, I was just like, oh, my God, I'm crying. And, like, it was crazy. And I still feel like whenever I like talk about it or watch it, I still like get pretty emotional about it because I don't want to cry. The first one was right after my injury, and that was just a really, really hard time for me. And I will say that I think that my injury was probably one of the best things that's happened to me thus far in terms of like my career and my development. But yeah, that was like my first like major match back, and I did really want to win. Like, I'm not going to lie, just because I just thought it would have been such a cool moment to, like, come back and, like, win this title after being gone for 9 months. But I think in hindsight now, I'm so happy of how it played out, because winning it at Stand Deliver is just, like, it's crazy. Sorry for being emotional.
No, I love it. And normally I make chicks cry for a variety of reasons, never this one. But tell me, why so emotional? Like, give it to me. Why did that injury make you cry? What do you think of it?
I think it's just because, like, I have never been seriously injured. Like, thank God. Like, I had gone through, 13 years of gymnastics, and did track and field for 2 years.
What did you do in track and field?
I did the 1, the 2, the 100 hurdles, and then I also did high jump and long jump.
Wow, I'm a big mark for the field events. I was a shot put and discus thrower, so
sweet.
Yeah, love the field events.
And then I did 4 years of competitive acrobatics and tumbling in college, Division I. And in college, my goal was to make it 4 years without being injured. That was just like my goal, and I was just terrified of surgery, to be completely honest. When I got here, I think I was just overworked. Like, I was still holding on to like my stuff outside, like weightlifting and like trying to still do all my gymnastic stuff and like stay on top of that, but I was just overworking my body. And I think that's kind of what had happened. Because like I don't know when I tore my ACL. I just one day my knee was swollen. I was like, this was strange. Like it kind of felt weird for like a day or whatever. Got MRIs and they're like, yeah, you're gonna be out for 9 months. And I was like, this sucks.
It's hard to deal with, right?
It's so hard to deal with because...
Did you think your career was coming to an abrupt end right there?
It was more so like, I was like, what am I going to do after this? Like, if I don't come back like the same, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to like stand out. It was kind of like where I was, and I was just scared of getting lost, you know?
Sure.
And like, since it's so fast paced, like wrestling is so fast paced, there's always the next show, there's always the next PLE, there's always this. You kind of feel like you get left out, or you feel like people forget about you.
They do. They forget about you real quick in this business. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
Your frame of mind to think that is completely legitimate because you've heard the old saying, the show must go on, and this show goes on real quick.
Yep.
You maybe hear from people a day later, maybe a week later, and then it's like, all right, sister, we'll see you when we see you.
Exactly.
When you get better, right?
Yeah, and especially because at the time I was starting to like get a bit of a push because my finish was going viral, and like I was like, awesome, like I'm getting all this, like all these opportunities, like, you know, all of us, like we love NXT, but all of us, you know, want to go to the main roster, and I just felt like that just took a huge step back. But I think when I returned, I was like so much better. Like I feel like Soul before the injury and Soul now are two completely different people.
Tell me why.
I think I just like I watched a lot. It's kind of the only thing you can do.
Sure.
And I was able to like pick up on little things and pick up on things that like watching people like, ooh, I don't like that, or ooh, I really like when this person does this, or oh, the crowd really likes that, or crowd doesn't really like that type of stuff.
So were you watching your stuff or others?
Everyone's stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And my stuff. I mean, I watch my matches back an embarrassing amount of time. Like I watch like every little foot movement, everything. So all the people in the comments are like calling out stuff. I'm like, I guarantee you I already saw that. So whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that type of stuff, and just like character work, like figuring out like who I am inspired by and how I can use these inspirations and also use some of myself to like create this larger than life character. And I feel like I'm still working with that. I feel like everyone works with that like their entire career. Like we're always evolving.
You're not going to find yourself overnight in this business.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you watch anybody in particular to get inspiration?
Yeah, I watch, I mean, obviously the main roster girls are they're incredible. I love Bianca, Rhea, just like the big powerhouse and strong, just like athletic girls. I'm just like, I want to be you one day.
Why can't you be?
I will be.
You will be.
I will be.
Absolutely.
I'm getting there.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley was not the Rhea Ripley she
know.
is today from day one.
I love her like transformation from NXT to now. I'm like, that's like what like
Are you
motivates
talking about
me.
her physical transformation?
Both, like everything, just from her presence in NXT to now, like she's just two completely different people, but still like the same. And like her whole story, just evolving and being able to evolve like in front of people is just so cool and so vulnerable. And I just think this job is just crazy. It's so fun.
You mentioned a very interesting word, vulnerable. I speak about this word a lot on Bust It Open because when it comes to the art of being a great babyface, you have to be comfortable being vulnerable. And not many wrestlers are comfortable being vulnerable and to let go, because if you can be vulnerable, the crowd can feel that and they want to be the one to inspire you and help lift you up. Do you feel at this very young early stage of the game that you either are vulnerable or allow yourself to be vulnerable?
Definitely. I feel like every time any of us step out of Gorilla, we are being vulnerable. All of us make mistakes. All of us are uncomfortable. Like not all of us are like super, super confident all the time. Like a lot of us just fake it. And like, that's just vulnerability. Like we're just, you'll be like, this is our job. Like I want to be great. So I'm just going to do the best that I can in this moment.
Tell me something that you get really excited about when you show up to work. Tell me something you get really nervous about when you come to work.
I just get excited to just be in the ring and just like try and, find those little moments to just like get better. I feel like right now I'm trying to just be in the moment more and being able to sell more creatively and more just like in the moment, instead of being like, okay, and then I have to sell over here, and then I have to go over here, and then I have to do this, and just being more just like in the moment and listening to the crowd, and like I like picking out little conversations people are having in the crowd, or like little funny things they say and stuff like that. The things that I don't look forward to is hair and makeup. I hate it. And photos.
You hate hair and makeup because you're not a hair and makeup kind of girl?
Yeah. And I mean, I
roll
do,
out of bed, throw on a bathing suit and hat, and you're just out.
Yeah, I am not a makeup girl. I don't like doing my hair. But I mean, I do everything myself. I do my own hair, I do my own makeup, and I make my own gear. But yeah, I don't.
Where did you learn to make your own gear? Are you just just good with that kind of stuff?
So when I was injured, I told myself I was going to learn how to make gear. However, I did not do that until I returned, and I was like, oh my god, I need gear. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna figure it out. And I figured it out in like a day. It was like, my gear was not very well made. It looked fine, but I was like, wow, this is a lot harder than I thought it was. I thought I was gonna be able to just like whip out a piece of gear real quick, but then since then I kind of just like worked on it, trial and error, and yeah, I'm still struggling with it, but we're getting somewhere. My gear is getting better and better.
But and as you know what, it'll also give you a greater appreciation for this industry.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. You answered it before I could even get there. Like,
it's so hard. There's just so much that I feel like the fans don't understand. Like, I mean, even like when I first kind of heard about wrestling and when I was first like signed here, I was like so used to being an athlete and having like, here, this is what you wear every single day. Like, this is how you're supposed to act. Like, this is what you do. This is your move set, your tumbling pass or whatever it was in gymnastics. That when I got here and they were like, oh, so what do you want to do? And I was like, you're asking me what I want to do? Like, no one's ever asked me that before. Like, what do you mean? Same with like character stuff and gear and stuff. I was like, I have to figure out that. Like, that's my responsibility. I was like, okay, that's kind of fun. But yeah, I feel like the fans don't understand that. Like, we don't just get given these gimmicks or these personalities or personas or any of that stuff. They do help us with it, but most of the time it's like we're able to create ourselves in a way. And especially with like gear, like we come up with our designs, or we'll have like, there's some fans that will like send you like, hey, I made this gear for you, and they're like, oh cool. Or there are people that you can pay to like design gear, and then you have to pay a seamstress to make the gear. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of stuff that we do.
Is the Sol Ruka that we see in the middle of an NXT ring the Sol Ruka that goes surfing?
I have a confession. It's really embarrassing.
Wait. Time out. You have a confession?
Yeah.
And you're going to make it to Uncle Bully on Busted Open After Dark?
Yeah, you should be honored. So I'm not a great surfer. I can surf, but I'm not very good.
What are you talking about? You're not a great surfer.
No. I
thought you were born on a wave or something.
I was born in Southern California. I love the beach. I have tattoos of sharks on my arms. I look the part.
We do have that in common. We're
Yes.
both big marks for sharks.
Exactly.
Okay.
Lived in Hawaii for a few years. I've always loved surfing. Like, I love Soul Surfer. I love all the surfing movies, but I had no time growing up to like surf. I did snowboard. I grew up snowboarding. I've been snowboarding since I was like 6 years old, so I'm much better at that. I started surfing probably when I was 12, which is like pretty late to start like a sport, especially like surfing or snowboarding or gymnastics. And I go as much as I can, and like I can stand up, I can do a little cut or whatever. Like the biggest wave I've ever surfed was like 6 feet in Hawaii, and that was like one time. But yeah, I'm not that great. I'm okay.
I thought you were like this incredible surfer.
I know. I don't know where they got that information from.
Like surfing like, 80-foot waves or something like that.
No. I wish. But yeah, gymnastics was my first love. So.
Well, all right. So I have a confession
I was
to
say,
make
don't
too.
you have a confession?
I have a confession to make too.
Hear it.
I was like the leader of a really popular motorcycle gang, and yeah, I can't drive a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's okay.
We've learned so much about one another in the 20 minutes we've been chatting.
You know what happens?
Soul really can't surf, and Uncle Bully,
it's not. I can't surf.
I said you not really, can't kind of surf.
Yeah, that's better. I can,
but not as much as she's led us to believe.
Hey, it was not me. I have never been like, I'm a good surfer. I can surf. Like, it's always been them being like, ooh, this is what she does. And like, here's like, there's one package I did and they had a video of someone surfing. And I was like, that's not even me.
I saw like a photo shoot or a video.
Yeah,
or a
there is
vignette.
a video of me surfing. But the wave is like literally this big. It's tiny. It's like an ankle biter. Like, it's so small.
I want to talk about your journey. I want to talk about how you got here. Were you a pro wrestling fan as a kid?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. I have like zero pro wrestling background. I honestly, like, being here now, I wish I would have known about it sooner, because I think I would have been like, this is what I want to do. But I didn't know it existed, for one. And when I did know it existed, I didn't know that like people, like, I could do it. You know, I thought it was like people who knew people, or like actors, or like, you know, people that have been doing this for their whole lives kind of situation. So I had no prior experience.
So how did they find you?
So at the time I was living in Hawaii. I was doing social media full time with personal training, online personal training. I was a certified personal trainer.
Doing social media full time?
So I was working with brands. I was posting like flips and tricks on the beach. That was kind of like my niche, like little kind of content that I would post. Yep. And yeah, I would get sponsored by brands, and then I would use those sponsorships and tweak them in my own way. With,
so is it like kind of like a swimsuit? Be like, here, wear our swimsuit while you do a cartwheel or something like that?
Or like energy drinks, or like I worked with a supplement company for a really long time. And so I would do like flips and tricks on the beach, and then I also did a lot of like workout content, because I was also a certified personal trainer.
Okay.
So I would do online personal training, and one of the recruiters saw one of my videos, and the person who recruited me had also gone to the University of Oregon, which I went to, but he graduated a few years before me, so I didn't really know him. But when they do the recruiting process, you know, they do background checks and all that type of stuff. So he was like, oh, she goes to Oregon, like, we'll just hit her up. Got the DM, and I was like, I don't know about this. I was like, is this UFC? Like, I thought it was the same thing. Like, I don't know how to fight. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to actually fight people. And then I did my research, and I was like, wait a second. This looks really cool. I was like, okay. And I like Googled like former gymnast, like someone that had like the same background as me. And I saw Casey Catanzaro, Katana Chance. And I was like, okay, like, this is sick. Like, I'll give it a try. And I was like, it's a free trip to Florida. Like, might as well do it.
Right.
Like, if I don't make it, it's a hell of a story to tell people. Like, I tried out for WWE. And if I do make it, then we'll see what happens. Flew out here, and the first day was promo class. And my tryout was here at the Performance Center. And it was a mix of people who are on the indies and then athletes. And first day was promo class. And I was like, I don't even know what a promo is. I was like, what does that even mean? And we're all sitting there, and they say like, okay, we're going to have you guys cut like just generic promos. Tell us about yourself, whatever. They go like number order. We're all like numbered. First person goes. They're an indie worker. She's a girl. And she has this whole persona and this backstory and all this stuff and this like outfit. And I was like, I'm screwed. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Sitting next to this other girl who was like a basketball player. And we're like panicking. We're like, oh my God, what do I say? I go up there. This is probably the worst promo they've ever seen, because it was just like, hey guys, my name's Calix. I'm from Southern California. I live in Hawaii right now. Did acrobatics tumbling at the University of Oregon. That's me. That was like it.
I got to tell you though, the name, you got me on the name.
Yeah.
Your shoot name is very unique.
Yeah.
Calix?
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
Yeah, it's the green part of a flower that holds the petals together. My mom wanted me to be a florist, but
we learned something here tonight on Busted Open After Dark. A calyx is the
green part of the flower that holds the petals together.
The green part.
It is also, I learned this one time when I went to the doctor, it's a part of your kidney as well, or your bladder or something like that.
I don't have kidneys.
Oh.
Yeah, I destroyed them years ago. Yeah. Don't fall into those. Yeah. Or maybe it's my liver. I don't know. One of those things. So you come in, you do well enough in promo class that they're like, we want to keep her. Has anybody told you about this it factor thing?
Yes, people definitely told me about this it factor. And I hope I have it.
You probably did in
Yeah.
their eyes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have kept you around.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Instagram post caught their eye. They brought you here. They spent money on you.
Yep.
And they wanted to invest in you.
Yeah. I think after that, like, I think that initial promo class, whatever you want to call it, I don't think they had very high expectations from the athletes. Because we did have a second promo class, like, the last day of the tryout. And that one was more structured. It was like cut a promo on a current champion, all this stuff. And then we had like a weight session and like music was blaring and like everyone was like yelling and like super hyped and stuff. And I was like, this is what I want. Like, this was, I think, maybe a year after I had graduated from college, and like being an athlete your entire life and then like having nothing, you kind of are like, what do I do with myself? Like, I'm so used to being surrounded by other athletes with the same goal and like all this stuff, and then to being like alone and being like, what do I do with myself? I walked in and I was like, this is what I want. Like, this is what I've been missing. We do the in-ring stuff and it was all honestly very easy for me. It was like forward roll, backward roll, cartwheel, like all this stuff. I mean, hitting the ropes was a little funky, but we didn't do and like learning how to bump was not fun. But it wasn't horrible.
Take your body and throw it on the ground.
Yeah, it was just like,
get
okay.
up and do it again, and then do it again.
Exactly.
Right.
And then I do remember we had a cardio drill called the bag drill. I don't know if you know what the bag drill is.
I know what the bag drill is.
So we did the bag drill, and I honestly, I have really good cardio. I don't really know how because I don't really do too much cardio, but I remember doing it and I was just like, that was easy. And then afterwards, Coach Bloom was like, we're going to have to like figure out another cardio drill because you're making us look bad. Like, you did that way too easily. Yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, after that tryout, I was like, damn, that was really fun. I was so sore though, like the most pain I've ever been in.
Oh, without a doubt.
But yeah, once I got back, I went to California because it was during Christmas time. We'd spent time with my family, and then got a call a few days later, and they were like, we really liked how you improved on your second promo. Like, you did really well. All your in-ring stuff is great. And we'd like to offer you a contract. And I was like, okay, like when do I have to be there? And they were like, I think it was like 3 months from then. And I was like, okay, I guess this is it. Let's do it.
So you get your contract. Now you got it in your blood. You've won the North American Women's Championship. You've won the Speed Championship. The drug is now in you. And pro wrestling is a drug, and you're going to learn that more and more. Can you see a life for yourself without being in the WWE?
I don't know what I would do, to be honest. Like, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I minored in multimedia. I was kind of just like, this might sound like conceited or whatever, but I feel like I always knew I would kind of be someone, or like in some capacity. Like, that's why I was doing social media. I was like,
you have to have a little bit of a chip and an ego in this
yeah,
business,
I think
so.
that's okay. But I was just like, I feel like it's just gonna work out for me. I feel like I'm a very optimistic person. I'm very just like, it'll work out. Like, it'll work itself out. I'll be fine. Like, everything will be okay. And yeah, now that I'm here, I'm like, I don't know what else I would do. I think the only thing I would do is probably move back to Hawaii and just like work at a coffee shop and just live off of the island. Just very simple life.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
But like, that's like literally like my last option. Other than that, like, I would love to like even like coach, like have like a basing class. I would love to do that. I would love to be involved with this for as long as I can.
Talk to me about your short-term goals in NXT, your long-term goals in the WWE.
I feel like goals are kind of tough in this business with just how things work. Honestly, I just want to do as much as I can. Like, I want to be in all the crazy matches. Like, if there's a ladder match, I want to be in it. If there's a cage match, I want to be in it. I just want to do as much stuff as possible. I think that's just my goal, short term and long term.
Is there a woman out there like a Bianca or a Rhea that you see? You've mentioned them before. Is there, if they told you tomorrow, okay, Soul, you get to be in a match with any woman in the company, on pay-per-view, what's your answer?
Oh my God. This is really tough.
Gun to your head.
Io.
Boom. That's a great answer. Io, tonight on main eventing NXT, and with an incredible match opening up night 2 of WrestleMania.
I think
Tell me why Io Sky.
My opinion, first of all, for WrestleMania, I think that match was the best match the whole weekend. It was
Great.
incredible. I was like, I had chills. I have a picture of me and Zari with our arms next to each other with like chills. I was like, it was incredible. They're incredible. Like, I just think Io's just so cool and crazy, and I love her little things she does, and I think her and I have very similar style, very similar like acrobaticness to her, and she is also just very intense, and I think that she could bring out a side of me that maybe I haven't seen in NXT.
That's a great answer, and I'm sure that there's many people out there in the Busted Open Nation who would love to see you and Io Sky in the ring one day. I got to ask you a favor.
Okay.
I do this with all my guests.
Oh, God.
It's kind of like my thing. It's not that big of a deal,
Okay.
but
I was gonna ask you.
Do you want to wear?
Yes.
Do you want to wear my Dudley glasses?
As soon as I walked in, I was gonna be like, "Can I wear those?"
Okay, she's got her Dudley glasses on. I have my Dudley glasses on, and we're gonna do the rest of the wait, hit that pose again.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Okay, I just hit a pose with Sol Ruka with our glasses on. God, you can take me now. No, actually, God, don't take me right now. I still got a couple things to do. The Io Sky. I ask a lot of people about the main roster. It sounds like at one point in your career before the injury, you may have been in a rush, but that injury's got you in a different frame of mind.
For sure.
Do you want to go to the main roster ASAP, or do you want to wait until the time is right?
I definitely wait till the time is right, for sure. I would, obviously I want to be there sooner rather than later, but if it's gonna detriment my career, then I would rather just wait. I want to have the best career possible on the main roster rather than just being rushed up there and then being like, oh, I don't have anything to do, and then being stuck in this weird spot. So I definitely think I would rather wait. And I feel like I was getting a little bit like nervous coming back and like up until now, because I was like, I haven't done anything yet. Like, I've been in a bunch of cool matches, but I haven't won anything. I haven't like done anything meaningful. Like, sure, I have cool moves, sure, I have a cool finish, but like I haven't done anything that really like matters in the WWE world.
Memorable.
Yeah, memorable or stuff like that. So I was like, kind of like, damn, like, what do I got to do? But now these opportunities have come, and I'm like, okay, I feel like really good about where I am, and I'm not in any rush. Like, I feel like I want to make my title reigns mean something.
I thoroughly appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
It was really nice to talk to you. I'm glad I got to learn about you a little bit more. There's more to you than just your finish.
Yes.
I can tell by social media that our fan base out there in the Busted Open Nation has really enjoyed this interview. Sweet. Wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
And I hope you make $1 million and win a lot of championships.
Me too.